So I guess we'll just wander around Leowen and see if Dara G shows up. Plus we need to go there for the quest anyway, so... So I'm not actually knowledgeable about this, but were guilds a historical thing?
Okay, we went into this a little bit last week, but the short answer is no. It's a thing that people would talk about in various places in various times, and then like there are legends about, but there's really no reliable evidence for anything that too closely resembles a thieves guild. Mostly because there just isn't a reason to have one.
Gracious.
Yeah.
What a hero.
Like, if for property crime in this era, you don't really necessarily want to have, like, infrastructure around you stealing some shit.
That's just talk.
Because, like, that's completely pointless. There's just 80 people that can identify you as a known thief. Like, what good is that? Who does that help?
Gracious. What?
Most people who stole shit were smart enough to keep that to themselves. Or else they'd get their head cut off.
Sure. Great. Not now, not later. This should be good.
Actually, I can also charm you. I want to get the best prices from my illicit vendor.
Hello. Are you looking for... This should
Have I ever talked about that, like, headsman's diary?
I don't think so.
So there's a dude who was an executioner in Germany in like the late 16th century, and he kept a diary where he, like, every time he would kill someone, or more rarely, like, kind of administer some other kind of punishment.
No deal.
He would record the case and, like, who it was and what they did, and it's all fucking wild shit. Like, I mean, a lot of it is reasonably mundane, but, like, there's some weird, intricate stories that's like, this guy was having an affair with this woman who was his brother's chambermaid, but then she pretended that he was his wife, even though he was already married, and they tried to set up a business in another town, and anyway, also we found a bunch of stolen copper wire in his backyard, so we're just cutting his head off, it's easier.
Deal. I can sell it for twice that.
Oh, like, one of the things that, like, this was fortunately not an execution, this was one of the non-execution ones, but there was a dude who he had a piece of his tongue torn off for blasphemy, and the blasphemy he committed it was thundering out really loudly, and he said, God lost all of his money on dice, and now the old fool is trying to make it back at bowls.
Oh, God.
It's like, you imagine, like, a second later somebody's like, that's not okay that you'd have to say that. I think that you need to learn accountability and make an apology video and then have a piece of your tongue torn off by the headsman in the town, apparently.
Ah, the good old days.
The good old days. Before cancel culture, when they would just literally have an agent of the state torture you.
I miss it.
Yes, I did just give that guy a bunch of free stuff, but I accidentally picked it up last time, so I'm gonna...
If it's free stuff, then you shouldn't have it, yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm 100% on board.
Well, just...
Yeah, so you didn't get thieves guilds, you would basically just get, like, bandits. Or other people who, like, have a specific criminal goal that requires a large group of people to accomplish. Right. And then as soon as they're done, they're just, like, they're fucking gone.
Well, wouldn't the, like, king or queen have, like, a group of little spies that do spy stuff and thieving and whatnot?
I pretty much everybody, yeah. Like, you would have to have people who would do sneaky shit for you. I don't know how much, like, stealing they would do, but, like, you gotta have spies.
Yeah. Probably more assassins than anything else.
Just one coin.
Yeah, I actually, like, that's kind of a big question. It's like, to what extent, like...
Guild?
So, like, a lot of the times an aristocrat, it has an assassination attempt against them in medieval history that I've read, like cases that I've come across. I've noticed that it's like been another aristocrat who's been doing it for the most part. Like, there's some dude who allegedly he was assassinated. Like, people don't really believe that this story was true, though they do believe he was assassinated. But he died. They say that like he went to use the toilet. And there's basically a dude at the bottom with a spear who just like stabbed him in the anus. I'm like, damn, that's hardcore. And then I scroll down, it's like, oh yeah, this is the Baron von Fuchsenberg who did it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's got like another, like, can you imagine if Joe Biden went to use the toilet and there was just like Ted Cruz hiding fucking in the effluent pipes, just like pointing a gun upwards? Just like a pair of glinting Ted Cruz eyes surrounded by feces.
Oh my god.
Hello.
There you are.
It looks thievy to this one. Why does the prey approach me?
What?
I can show.
Oh, she can train us in light armor.
Yes, a filthy Argonian stole my precious ring. It was a gift from my mate. It has sentimental value. I will pay well. The stupid lizard hunts with the name Amusai. Find him.
It's Amusei.
Find my ring. Make him suffer. Kill him and I will be pleased.
Kill him and I will be
A
pleased.
filthy... The stupid guild rules. He is only an
Okay,
Argonian.
interesting.
He is
So they
less
did
than
just kind
human
of
and
decide to
much
go
less
ahead and
than
give us a
precious.
racist Khajiit.
If you must spare.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, actually, there are several of them in Leowin, I think.
Yeah, something about the flat delivery of all of like the racist
Yes.
comments is really, really funny in a fucked up way.
Hunting.
It's like the voice actress is delivering the racism with all of the passion that she delivers. Like, I don't know how to get to the marketplace, but maybe you could talk to that guy on the street. Even though I think that he is less than human.
For a price. Huh. The poor bugger was
Seems
arrested.
disappointed that we gave him 10
Seems
coins.
He tried to swindle the Countess. He's rotting in a cell in the castle dungeon now. It's common knowledge that the jailers can be
Why do
bribed
shirtless Argonians
to
look
allow
ripped?
visitors to see prisoners.
Because they got the same model as everybody else.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, shirtless humans tend to look a little doughy, but like, Argonians are like, they're cool looking.
Oh,
Do humans in Oblivion
hamster.
with their shirts off?
I mean, really, I'm picturing the guy you meet in Morrowind, your first contact in
Caius Cosades.
that one.
Oh yeah, that guy
Yeah.
is fucking. That guy's a brick shithouse.
He looks kind of doughy. The models are kind of wide. Maybe it's because I'm playing like a 4-3 game in 16:9 and it's a stretch.
Yeah, Chris, I'm gonna bring up a picture of Caius Cosades. My brother in Christ, this dude has the cum gutters.
Welcome to Leowin.
That I know. There's no other way to put it. This man is extremely cut. This is not a doughy person.
Okay, now that you got me looking at an image of him, maybe I'll have to grow a little bit on this.
This guy's got veins as thick as like
we all profit
garden
Oh
hoses.
my god! Why do I remember him being a little kind of doughy? He's like, holy crap!
You can.
He's got the fucking.
We only saw him
obliques.
like 4 months ago when we did the Morrowind episode.
I mean, okay, here's my thing. I remember him as sort of a drugged out loser, and I guess just my mental image of him is kind of like this doughy old guy that was doing a secret mission and is kind of only half doing it because he's been drinking himself to death on skooma. That's kind of my mental picture of him. But just objectively looking at that image, that is a man who is ready to scrap.
Chris, look at this other
Would we
picture.
like
that
to
I
do a
found when
service to Leowin?
I'm gonna drop in the chat. Look at this other picture I found when I googled Caius Cosades.
I need your help. An orc named Mazoga here claims to be a knight, but will not reveal her business.
Okay, that's not a real photo, but...
Find out why she is here.
Well, it's not a real image of Caius Cosades, but it's a
for those who
Photoshop.
serve Leowin.
It's like this is
what would
filed
a
under
real
Caius Cosades.
photo of Caius Cosades look like?
Probably what I just dropped in the chat.
You'll have to send me those so I can throw them in the edits.
It's in the cast chat.
Attention to this matter.
So where is the dungeon? Assuming we can't simply sneak in there. There's
You look
a
lost.
dude. Where's the dungeon?
Okay, here's what we don't do. We don't Google shirtless Oblivion human.
That morning routine.
What happens when you do
Every
do
morning.
that?
Some mistakes are made.
Hot cup of coffee. Oblivion nudes.
There's a lot of mods for Oblivion, I'll put it that way.
I once Googled Dorian staff in my research paper for Dragon Age
no.
staves. And that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Was it though?
Was definitely.
Wow,
hello.
there were like 3 or 4 different people who've made Caius Cosades miniatures in Hero Forge.
The Thieves Guild refused to take me, so I came here. Leowin is my home. It is where I was raised. I went to the Imperial City in hopes of joining the Thieves Guild.
Is this one of the guys we were
Now,
competing
I am
against?
forced to live as a freelance.
I think so.
Who gets kicked out of
Why
the
should
Thieves
I tell
Guild?
you where
Like,
it is?
Well, he never
Okay,
got
I
in.
just-
Leowin's dungeon.
but I
Yeah.
struggle
While
with the
you are
idea
free.
of it. Like,
What will you do for Amusai?
He failed his
who
entrance exam.
aspires... He aspires to be in the Thieves Guild. Like, it is an aspirational thing.
You do that
Yeah, 'cause it's
for
cool.
me.
Because
Maybe
otherwise you
guild
can't sell your
fights
shit to
aren't so
anybody, I
bad
guess.
After all. Okay, it's a deal.
Like,
Yeah, there's no
I
fences that
stole-
will work with you, right?
And I'll tell you about
I stole
the
a truckload of diamonds, and now to plant them in my
Some
garden
freedom.
while I wait for the Thieves Guild to
Yes,
get back to me on
I
my
stole
application.
That ring from a Darji. When I went to sell it, the fence told
It's
me
really funny to imagine
I was
that
too
everybody
hot
in the
for you.
entire continent is shit out of luck
He showed me
when
an
they steal
inscription on
something,
the inside
unless they're a
to
member of the
Alessia.
Thieves Guild.
That had
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
the Countess of Leowin. The damn ring was stolen.
There's a
property.
mod for Skyrim
That's the-
that I...
Well, I figured I would ransom it back to the Countess, except she tricked me. I was arrested.
So
for theft.
he stole a
And she
ring, went
kept
to the
the
fence, and then
ring.
the fence said, "I can't take this.
The
It's
Countess
stolen."
rarely leaves the castle. Good luck.
Well, presumably
getting
it's too
it back.
hot, right?
Well, it was stolen from the Countess, apparently.
What if it's like her signet ring? It's just like, hello,
If
I've
I
stolen the
like you,
Countess's signet ring.
I owe you a
I think people are gonna know this belongs to the Countess. No, just say it's a replica.
Oh my god.
debt of
Well-
gratitude.
I installed a mod for Skyrim that makes it so you can sell stolen
Hey, what's
goods
up?
to the wandering merchants.
Lost.
Like that felt like it made sense, basically. Like, yeah, they'll just go like if for some reason this exhibits like theft radiation, they can just cross the border and sell it somewhere else, right?
Pocket, you're in.
Oh,
It's all over, lawbreaker. Your spree.
all right. Let's reload that. I forgot that when you pickpocket people in Oblivion, even just to look, it counts as stealing.
That's, I think it's pretty reasonable, actually.
Yeah, no, it was
Hello.
really silly that it didn't.
You just like walk up to someone and just pull their wallet out of their pocket and start like flipping through it. And then you just like make a noise of disgust and fold it back up and put it back in their pocket and walk away without even looking at them.
I want to ask what's-her-face about
Its scent is unfamiliar.
the fact that she had a ring that was already stolen. I'm not sure where she went. Is that her?
Yeah, so I've been getting to read that guild book, and I did discover something that, like, it's like a little thing, but it actually kind of fucked me up about, like, how I'd been imagining guilds all these years.
What was it?
You know, like, apprenticeship was, like, not an official guild service, like, 90% of the time or something. Like, there's no, like, you're not formally a guild apprentice. It's just like, if you're a member, a journeyman in the guild, you can just, like, adopt a kid and make him your apprentice, but that's basically up to your own discretion. Like, it's not a service that the guild in any way takes part in or cares about. Like, they don't have any standing in the guild for being your apprentice.
Where she keeps
They're not on the career track. It's not like an internship.
My pockets are a little.
Yeah, it was you had to apprentice, and then eventually, maybe you'd be led into the guild as a journeyman.
You're right.
Or maybe
the
it
guild
was
doesn't make any
master
promises, or the guild doesn't take any interest in that. It's just like come back to us when you're ready to become a journeyman, and we'll basically evaluate your case from scratch.
The Countess's handmaiden. She eats dinner in the castle at the 8th bell. You may have to.
It's like if a McDonald's franchisee could just like have you working at the McDonald's, but you're not like working for McDonald's.
You should know.
You're just working, and then maybe he'll put in a good word with McDonald's at some point if you want to get a job at
the hidden torture chamber. They say that Count Marius interrogates Argonian immigrants from Black Marsh. The servants whisper that the Argonians are dragged into the basement and never seen again.
Okay, that's morbid, but not really what we're interested in.
Just in case.
I guess that actually basically is how working at McDonald's works, huh? Probably could have named any other business except McDonald's that specifically does do that with franchisees, more or less.
I am Ladora Mothrim, Lady Leowin's chaplain and chief advisor. I assist her ladyship so that her enlightened policies might achieve the greatest possible influence upon the affairs of County Leowin. I ask myself,
man.
Do I like you enough to tell you about
again,
guess what?
There's definitely a cutoff where, like, I like it in this game when it's corny, and the fact that there's just a conversation option called Dark Secrets in Castle Leowin that you can ask someone about, and that they can very reasonably be like, I don't know that I trust you enough to talk to you about Dark Secrets in Castle Leowin? The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I get it.
I will also say, for the record, I literally did not remember that this game had this much speech menu shit in it.
Oh, sure. Don't. All right.
Like, it actually has been genuinely surprising me how many times we have to do the wheel to progress at a straightforward quest in any given session.
A pleasure. Shh. It's dangerous to be heard talking about.
Well, Josh is also baiting for specific
a lot
responses.
of
There's a secret passage somewhere in the basement that leads to.
We're also doing a quest line that doesn't have a whole lot of running around and murdering in it.
Sometimes I can hear the screams of the prisoners
is like the
when I'm
most
in my
tedious.
chambers.
Like, that's way more tedious. If you're ever watching an episode of this show and you're like, oh, I'm so sick of the dialogue wheel, listen, if it wasn't 1 minute of the dialogue wheel, it would be 10 minutes of killing identical goblins.
Countess Caro is so relieved to have the ring back. It's been missing for many years. She wears it constantly. Well, not all the time. I mean, she puts it in her jewelry box.
Any of y'all played a Card Shark?
No proper lady could wear her jewelry to bed.
Is that the card cheating game?
That's the card cheating game.
She's at the town.
Yes, I have played that. I like it a lot.
It's the evening meal.
That's fantastic. I really enjoy it. It's pretty fucking hard, though.
She travels to Coral on the Ides of every.
But you have to like memorize the actual. It's not.
The 15th and 17th.
It's difficult because it's not the literal card trick. You're not actually doing sleight of hand, but it's close enough that you have to remember how the trick works, which is kind of the fundamental difficulty.
Yeah, like, you know,
Countess-
you don't quite have to get to the point where you have as much dexterity as requires to perform a card
Countess
sheet,
call
but
on
you do
the eyes
have
of
to
every
know every step of the card sheet, and you need to perform them with some simulation of dexterity. And you need to do it right every time, or else you're going to get fucking killed.
Are you playing with a control stick, or are you playing with like the keyboard and mouse?
How goes it?
You know, I recently bought a controller, and I immediately started like 10 different video games that have been in my Steam library for ages. One of them had not been there for ages, and it was Card Shark.
It is. I find it easier with the controller than the keyboard and mouse.
Oh, I can't even imagine it with the keyboard. It's. So when I say I recently got a controller, like I have actually been playing PC games with no gamepad accessible for my entire 31, going on 32 years.
Jeez, you're almost as bad as my brother.
Yeah, I bought it. I just ordered an Xbox controller and plugged it into my PC like a few months ago, and I've been like, yeah, this actually does open up a lot of options. I probably was stupid for being quite this stubborn about it all these years.